It started with something small, a weird buzzing in my leg, almost like my phone was vibrating in my pocket, but my phone wasn't even there. And I shrugged it off like we all do. Turns out it was one of the first signs of something that would change my entire life. Multiple sclerosis doesn't always kick the door down. Sometimes it just leaves breadcrumbs, little signs scattered throughout your life. For me, it was that buzzing. Then this weird numbing tingle in my fingertips when I typed. My balance was off and I blamed it on bad sleep. My vision blurred for a day and I said it was too much screen time. But MS doesn't care about excuses. It shows up anyway. Here's the thing. Most people miss the early signs of MS because they're not obvious, or they mimic everyday things. Fatigue? Well, everyone's tired. Pins and needles? Maybe you just slept funny. But when those things keep coming back, you start to feel like maybe something's wrong. I waited way too long to connect the dots. I didn't want to believe that something deeper was going on. And I think a lot of people do that. We minimize or we doubt ourselves. If I could go back and warn myself, these are the signs I would tell me not to ignore. Tingling or numbness in your hands, legs or face that doesn't go away. Blurry vision, especially in one eye. Unusual fatigue, not just tired, but completely drained, like your body's glitching. Balance issues, like feeling your legs aren't listening. And this strange one, a tight squeezing sensation around my torso. Almost like a belt being pulled tight, but there was nothing there. Another sensation I experienced early on was Lhermitte's sign. For those of you that aren't familiar with Lhermitte's sign, it can be described as like an electric shock-like sensation that usually happens after a sudden pulsing, jarring movement. I used to get it when I would walk out of my living room towards my kitchen and I would just turn slightly and I would get an electric shock all the way up the left side of my body. That has been made easier now with medication and changes to my diet and things like that, but at first it was really alarming and concerning and I had no idea what it was. It's not just one of these symptoms, it's the pattern. It's when your body whispers the same strange sentence over and over, hoping you'll finally hear it. And if you're watching this because something doesn't feel right, trust yourself. I'm not saying it's MS, but I am saying don't ignore what your body is trying to tell you. For a lot of us, especially those that are pre-diagnosis, when we start to experience these symptoms, it's really daunting and scary and we don't know what's going on. So if you're feeling some of these things, if you're worried, if you're unsure what's happening to your body, make a note of these things and speak to your GP or healthcare professional, because the earlier we can go down the diagnosis route, the more we can do about it, the more options there are for treatments. And we can also rule out MS. It might be something completely different. So it's really important that these things aren't ignored and that we do something about them as soon as possible. For those of us that have our diagnosis, the diagnosis experience itself can take a long time and it can be really scary. But having that diagnosis, knowing what it is, can be almost like a bit of a weight lifted. I remember getting my MS diagnosis and almost feeling a sense of relief. Like, I told you I was ill. I'm not making this up. And now I know there's something I can try and do about it. Because that limbo period before your diagnosis, we don't know what it is and we don't know what to do and we don't know what our future is going to look like. This community is growing into something that I never could have imagined, and I love the help that we offer each other, the support that we can share. But that community feel that means we're all in this together, nobody fights alone, I think is incredibly valuable. My journey is just that. It's my journey and it's different from everybody else's. I know that not everyone experiences MS in the same way, not everyone experiences the same symptoms at the start or progresses on to different symptoms. And even when we do share symptoms, often we feel them and experience them in different ways. Early diagnosis changed everything for me. It gave me time to adjust and to understand, to fight back. And if you're newly diagnosed or scared, then this channel is here for you. I've been there and I've got you back. So hit subscribe if you want to hear more videos like this. I talk from all things MS, from symptoms to real life. And if you've experienced something strange and unexplained, drop it in the comments. Let's help each other figure this stuff out.